Hello everybody and welcome back to Voxel Tycoon. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and set up a giant bus line, right? We are having an issue where we have traffic just going a little backlogged right now, and I want to go ahead and actually rearrange our entire depot here. But in order to go ahead and do that, we need something generating income for us, because if we shut our lines down, then we are going to blow through our money, and then we're not going to have anything generating income for us, and then we'll eventually hit a point where we have to just cram stuff back in just to get things running and getting money generated, and then we won't actually get this thing set up the way we want to get it set up. So what we're going to go ahead and do today, right, we're going to set this bus line up, and hopefully as we get these bus stations up and running, right, and the whole route running, we are able to make somewhere in the six-figure range, right? Because if we shut down our depot, we aren't going to be generating anything, and then if we're at least generating 100 grand or more, we're at least going to be able to keep construction going while we're building out. We will have to wait a little while for things to go, especially if we take out the loan, because then we won't have any extra income coming in, and then that'll chew into it as well. But hopefully this is able to go ahead and do what we kind of need it to do. So what we're going to go ahead and do, right, is we are going to start off in Lake Charles, and then we are going to go straight up to the town that's over here, which I believe is Albany. And then from Albany, we're going to go over to Hobart, and then back on over to the mega cities that are these guys, our three initial ones. So we're going to work our way through the three of those, and then we're going to go to Hayes, and then double back down to Roseville, and then at the end of the line, which will be Roseville, we're going to double back and go through all of the towns and the bus stations, so that we are picking up from here and then going all the way over there and then doing the same thing back, so that we don't have any downtime. Because if we go from here to Roseville and then just have the end of the line there, it's going to register that the beginning of the line is back in Lake Charles, so it's going to drive from here all the way back there without picking up anybody. So I don't want it to be doing that, and this way hopefully we're able to make at least a decent amount of cash doing it like this. So hopefully this works out, but let's go ahead and lay some of these down. So we're going to go ahead and connect the roads in so that they are connected already, and we don't have buses making U-E's or going to spots where it doesn't really need to be going. And for right now, we'll go ahead and rock the tier 2 bus stations. We will have to keep coming back to these towns and adding in more bus stops as the towns get bigger and bigger, but for right now it looks like we might be able to go ahead and get away with one of them here, and it looks like maybe we might need actually 3 of them in this town just to hit every building that's available right now. So let's plop one here. We can also go ahead and put one here for right now. That should be fine. That's going to hit those things, and then the last one can go here. That's the entire town connected in with bus stops right now, and we can also double check that by clicking on this, and we have 45 out of 45 on coverage. The transfer rate is awful because we don't have any buses on that line, but it should be fine for the time being until the town starts to expand, like I said. So if we take this road and go ahead and just connect it into this thing so that we have a loop, and that should be this town for the time being set in stone. So let's go up to the other one over here, Albany, and we're going to have the station starting from this side of the thing since we're coming in from here. So we will have this one, if I could, there we go, and we're going to open up our little logistic thing so we can see the range of this thing, and then the next one will go ahead and be placed here if we're able. Oh, you know what, we can't put it there because of the depot's already there. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and place it here instead then. That's going to go ahead and connect in the top part of the town there, and then we need more bus stations over in this corner. So the next one can go here, and then we'll just go ahead and build a road out. If I could get you to go there. So that actually, let's not put that one down yet. Let's go ahead and build the road out just a smidge so we can actually go toward it like this. So now we can go ahead and place this one up here. This is going to cover a little bit of a bigger area than what we need right now, but that should be fine, right? We get those little houses on the right. We're still missing a couple on the left, but that should be fixed here in just a second. So from that one, we can go toward here, and we will place this one right here in the middle of the town. If we could get it to place, we need that car to pass by, and there we go. And then it looks like we need 2 more stations in this town really quick, so we can place one there, and then we need one up here to connect in the top bit of the town, and our FPS is just disappearing because it doesn't like these station screens opened and trying to place things down. So if we can get that truck to pass, we should be able to go ahead and place this thing down. Why can't I place it down? It's because there's a ramp right there, so we'll go ahead and place it on this side of the ramp because we're missing missing a couple buildings on this section if we place it on this side of the road. So then we'll just go ahead and place one more here on the exit of the town, and that should be this entire town connected in as well. Yes, we have 90 out of 90, so we are good there. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process over and over again here because we have to go ahead and redo all of our towns. I'm going to leave as many bus stations as I can intact in the 3 towns that we set up initially, but I'm going to go ahead and do the other towns really quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we are almost done with the bus stations, right? We are maybe 1 or 2 away from having Lake Oswego completely connected in. We need what was that, 11 more people connected in. The only empty space is up here. There's a bunch of houses right here on this little stretch of road that aren't connected to any bus stop. So I think once we put one there, we should be good, but it's going to cost us 400 grand to put one there. So we need to go ahead and let the game run again. But I went ahead and accidentally crashed one of our vehicles. So it's a bus, so it's not going to have too much impact on our finances right now, but we need to go ahead and keep an eye on that. Then we can go ahead and connect these 2 towns in, but we're going to go ahead and let it run for a second because we need money. And we blew through the entire 9 point whatever million we had there a second ago. So we need to go ahead and actually click on this car so we can clear it from the road so it's not causing any traffic jams like it just was. And in a few minutes here, we should be back up to a couple million and making money again. We are running dangerously low on wood. I think we have like 40,000 left in this depot. We have 20,000 left in this depot. So that's gonna cause issues really soon. Okay, so now that we have all of the bus stations down, it cost us a lot of money there. We are going to go ahead and throw this bus on there. The new look, it goes 47 miles an hour. That's the fastest thing we have available right now until we research the next tier of vehicles. I think there's a new bus under that tier, but we don't have the stuff down to be making them, so we're just going to hold off for right now. And with this one guy, we are going to go ahead and trigger the routes, right? And it's going to take us a minute because there's like 50 plus bus stations down, but we're going to go in one way and then we're going to come back down the pathway like I said. So this is going to take a good minute. So we need to go ahead and do, I believe, transfer, right? They load and unload. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And then we just have to zigzag our way through the town. So we'll go ahead and go to the right first and then back to the left, and then we'll exit on the northbound lane right there. So that should work. And then it's just rinse and repeat on setting these lines up. So let me go ahead and smash this out real quick. It's going to take me a minute or so. So let me get going here. Okay, so what I need to go ahead and do is go through all the bus stops and rename them 1 through whatever I have down, because I think without a doubt, I most likely missed some of these stops because going through the listing here, it starts to lag. Right now it's not lagging, but if I re-edit and go to start clicking on bus stations, it starts lagging because there's so many. It's not even that many, to be honest. I think it's like around 40 maybe, give or take, maybe 50. But the game's kind of dragging along there. I don't know what else I can do for that. But let's go ahead and throw some cars on here. We have 800,000, so we can buy like 4 of them. But before we actually do that, let me go ahead and get these guys off of the roads here. So I need to find my buses, and I need to go ahead and pull them all off of the lines. So is that all of them? I only had a couple on the lines. Yep, that's all of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and send these guys to the depot. That's gonna pop into here in a second, and then we can go ahead and delete them or sell them. But before we do that, I'm gonna delete those lines that they're on right now so that we don't have them still a thing and showing up when we delete stations later. Okay, and with those gone, we now have 1.2 mil to buy cars with. So let's go ahead and throw as many on here as we can. These things have a capacity of 18, right? 18, yeah. So let's just throw as many as we can on there right now. We'll probably have to throw even more on here when we actually get things rolling here. So we have, what is that, 7 cars. Let's go ahead and set them out. And with those buses out on the line here, we're going to have to start off with like 100 and change worth of capacity. But we also have just a ton of people already waiting. It's not a whole lot. It's like 1 for every little stop here, but it should start running as the vehicles begin to saturate the line here. We're going to have to throw another dozen or so vehicles on that line, but we should hopefully see a profit getting turned on this. And with the buses out and going here, we'll hopefully be able to go ahead and throw another dozen or so buses on that line, and hopefully they start turning a profit, because we need to go ahead and redo our depot. We need to set it up in a way that it eliminates the traffic as much as possible, right? We're going to have as many of the depots down to go ahead and split the lines as much as we can to go ahead and try and decrease that as much as we can. But what what I think I want to go ahead and do with the depot this time around is dedicate maybe one whole side to nothing but smelting, because we need a lot of iron. But what I want to go ahead and do this time around is go ahead and have like conveyors and stuff going out and then back in, because we don't really need the smelters in range of our depot, because we can't deliver directly to them. So it's actually just wasting a bit of space. So what I think I'll end up doing next time around is setting up the stuff that can be smelted on the border of our delivery zone. So like the iron ore, the copper ore, I think the sand as well, kind of. All of this stuff doesn't need to be in the zone. All of these things that are making the items. So what I'll end up doing is conveying it out of the area, right, into an array of manufacturing things, right? So for instance, with our iron and steel production, right, we can have it out of bounds. If I can open up that screen again, we'll have it out of bounds of the collection thing, and then we can have like 15-20 smelters turning in the ingots, and then the conveyors can bring them back into a warehouse that's in the zone. So that way we can go ahead and rearrange the freight stations to go ahead and be able to grab more things from each area, instead of having this little mess up area here that's causing traffic jams, because the roads aren't actually long enough for them to do anything, and they take a minute to load up anyways. So we need like a stretch of road to lead up to each thing here, so that they're backlogging in the freight station area instead of the main road blocking everybody. I have already kind of started leveling out this area here. So we started cutting into this mountain here. It's like 2 million every like 2 or 3 pixels. So it's been pretty pricey. I think I've already spent like 4 to 10 million just clearing out this little corner here. That's going to take us a little while longer. I kind of plan on hopefully adding in another depot on this section here. So when we have them both down, this whole stretch right here should be covered by both depots, and that way we can have trains on both of them picking up and removing items and delivering them to the towns. So that way we're up to 16 trains on any given moment instead of the 8 that we're locked into right now. And another thing that's happening right now is these guys are stuck. So I went ahead and threw another stone train onto this line because they weren't keeping up with our demand, and apparently they got stuck. I don't know how long they've been like this. Most of these notifications might be the trains. This is a train one, so I've just ignored it. I thought it was all vehicles because it starts off with vehicle. Oops. Again, I don't know how long this has been, but we need to go ahead and fix this. So let's pause it really quick. I don't know what we can do here. So we need this guy to clear the track because it's causing a traffic jam right here. Even though it's not on this little curve, the signal is still registering it as it is for some reason. So what if we actually move the signal to this side of the track, right, and then delete this one? Is that going to fix it? No, it's not going to fix it at all. Okay, well, shoot. Well, I don't know how to fix this because I can put a signal back here, but that doesn't do anything. And if I put a signal here, it's not going to do anything. So if I put one there, again, it's not going to do anything. And that's the only other place I can put it. For some reason, I can't put it on this turn, but I can put it on this turn. So maybe it's too sharp of a turn, but that's not doing us any favors here. What if we remove this guy? Can we place it there then? No, we still can't place it on that turn. Okay, well, I don't know what to do then because the trains are not going to move. What if we have you turn around? Can we do that? Actually, no, we can't do that because of the signaling. It's all one-way tracking. Well, there we go. I deleted the signal from here. I'm going to place one back right here just so we have a block going. And we seem to be good. I guess we don't need a signal here. I'm not too sure. I kind of do want a signal there, though, because I don't want the train to be coming through here and getting hit. And now this guy's not going. Why are you not going, buddy? Speed it up. Is it because this train's in the depot that's registering back here to not go? And it's still not going even though it's gone. Okay, so we got it running again. We have a signal here. We removed the one on this little junction. We have one going into the depot because the trains wouldn't move until the train that was in here was completely gone. So now that it pulls in, the train will park over here while it waits. And then same thing here. We have it going all the way down here now. We remove the signal on this end and it just terminates before the junction again. And then something that I realized and I totally spaced on, we don't need this stretch of track anymore. This stretch of track is not needed because we have our stone train pull into this town before it goes back to our main hub. So we can go ahead and actually remove this, and we need to be careful not to delete the, okay, so I didn't want to delete the little junction there. So we can remove all of this. This can go, that's no longer needed, and that should clear up a little bit of the track junction thing going on there, because it was registering that whole stretch of track as open anytime anything was in that little rail block. So now we should be just smooth sailing from here on out. We are climbing back up the money relatively quickly here, because I think these two trains kind of grinded to a halt, and then all the traffic was just not grabbing any stone stuff. So we are turning a profit again with our trains, and we are going to be golden here any minute. So let me dump a bunch of money in on the bus line again. So we need to go ahead and clone some buses. Let me turn it back down to 1 speed. So we currently have 8 of these cars on that line. Let me go ahead and clone one of them. So that's going to be 9, and then that's 10, and then we are just going to go ahead and dump as much money in here as we can. Okay, so we had enough money to bring our total buses up to 20, so that's going to be that's going to be running. And if we can go ahead and click on this, is this going to tell me how much money we've made off of this line? It is not going to tell me that. Okay, I don't know how to check lines because I don't see a screen thing to do anything with that, so I'm going to assume that line is profitable, and if it's not, by the time next episode rolls around, then we will just have to kind of deal with the consequences of setting so many buses in this long line that do nothing for us. Okay, so we can actually see how much money we're making from passengers. We just made $19,000 the month previous, but now that the month ticked over, we just made $30,000. So when we add another 10, 20 cars on the line, we should be making close to hopefully $100,000. But what I need to go ahead and do in between episodes here is go ahead and rename all the bus stops, right? So I can make sure that I have them all in the listing, because the game, like I said, was kind of lagging a little bit as I was trying to select stuff, so I don't know if I missed any or not. And another thing I need to go ahead and do is go ahead and have the bus route backtrack on its way out, because right now they end here and then they drive all the way back to the first town. So what I need to go ahead and do is go back through and select all the bus stops again so that it's going northbound and then southbound and then back and forth and back and forth. So we're making as much money as we probably can be off of that line, but we're going to go ahead and do all that in between episodes. We have another 2 million, so I think I can throw another 10 trucks or another 10 buses on the line really quick, and we can just go ahead and pause it, right? We can do that, grab a bus, because those are the only buses we have out right now, and we should be able to go ahead and do 10 of these. All right, cool. We were actually able to do 11 of the buses, so now we have 31 buses on that route, but I think that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Next episode, if our bus line is actually turning a profit, we're going to be able to disable some of this stuff and rearrange it in a way that kind of ups our production rate. So since I'm already flattening out a whole bunch of area over here, we're just going to go ahead and smack a bunch of furnaces and stuff, a bunch of the sawmills and stuff, to go ahead and try and keep up with the demand that we're doing. Even though we're not doing a crazy amount to the towns, right? We're only having 4 trucks to each business. We have so many on the line that it's not actually keeping up anymore. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.